Right, we're going to have a go at changing the brake light on our Range Rover Sport. This is the same for the 2005 to 2009 model. The early ones, which is what we're doing now, the brake light is on the top of the spoiler here. On the later ones, it's a totally different shape and it actually goes on the underside of the spoiler. Something like, this is the autobiography, but the later ones did have the brake light like that. So this isn't for that type, it's for the other type. So Ian's had to fit an old spoiler on our car just to demo this for you guys. So there we go. Right, you'll notice, I don't know if you can see in the video, but the old ones, they have a sort of hard life exposed to the sun and the cold day in, day out. And they seem to end up getting pretty sort of faded and matte and scratched when you compare it to the shiny sort of new one that you're supposed to have. And we've also had them made, as you will have seen at the start of the video, in a black colour, which but obviously they shine red, as we'll demonstrate at the end of the video when we fitted it. Right, so first thing we need to do is open the top part of the tailgate, like so. Right, I'm going to go on the camera now, and Ian's going to do the work because he's worked this out. Well, we haven't.
Not sure what fittings you're going to have on yours. I think originally they were T40, Torx T40, but ours are a PEX.
But you basically got two corners. Yeah. This car's been apart a few times, but you're going to have some fitting in the corner. So the trick is to open just the top part of the tailgate to remove these two. Right, and then there's the other one in this other corner here. And as you can see, that's going into the sort of underside of the spoiler. And then what we're going to do in a sec is
long bolts in these.
Right, and then close the top half of the spoiler, then open the whole tailgate, because once you've got the split tailgate on the Range Rover Sport. And then there's a couple more screws you've got to get at. Right, let me get my torch out again. So that's pretty much next to the hinge, right, Ian?
Yeah, so there's 3 nuts this time. They're not bolts, they're nuts.
They look original, don't they?
Studs.
Okay, yeah.
So these should be a 10
So there's
mil.
one, that's it.
I think it's a T40 and then a 10 mil socket that you'll need.
Right. There's the third one.
So try not to push too hard, because all that's holding it there now is the fact that those studs are just sat in. There's nothing actually holding the spoiler anymore.
So close it all gently. Right.
And we should be able to just lift straight up.
Right, but you're not. Right, you've got a load of connections going on here. So what we got there, Ian?
So we've got the brake.
Yeah, let me hold that for you. I got that for you.
Brake light connector there.
Right, and that's a little.
Just push on the back.
Yeah.
And then your washer hose, which can just disconnect from that.
Then probably not as easy as that one. You
probably not,
because we just had that apart. Then that all comes off. Right, and then what we need to find is a nice bit of workbench. Let's go with the workbench over there, and then we'll show you how to strip down and fit this one. What are you going? You can do it on the bin, I mean. Yep. Very glamorous.
So yours should be a Torx T20, I think.
So there'll be 3 little screws.
There's 4 along the back here. On the
is there 4? Is it?
Yeah.
So these are going into. So these are going into on the light. There'll be those 4 there.
They should be the only screws in that region, though.
Yeah, there's nothing else there. Now that washer jet's got nothing to do with the brake light, has it? So the only reason we needed to disconnect the washer there is
it's just to be able to lift the whole spoiler off, yeah. Just so we can get to those easier. You may well be able to do it on the car, but it's for the sake of that, you may as well just take the whole thing off.
Now, do you remember on the L320, this was quite stuck in, wasn't it? And we had to put a plastic tool and wriggle it. This one, where we've only sort of been playing around with it, it's not too bad. You may have to get a little plastic tool in there. So yeah, it slides out that way.
So yeah, you've got hooks on the front there that go into those holes, so it comes forward and then up.
Right, and watch where you route that wire through.
That just pokes through.
So yeah, it's quite a generous hole there, so he's not too fiddly, is he? So let's just have a look at those two actually. So yeah, you might be able to see how rubbish that one is. He's not shiny at all, that one, right? We've got the new one with the connector pre-fitted. Goes in there.
So you're aiming for, there's no hole at the back you're aiming for.
No, you ain't got to thread it through anything,
as long as it goes into the top.
Right, and then you just got to get that right, haven't you? Right.
You've got to get those.
So you get them in, and then give it a little shove back. That's it. Right, and then hopefully you're all lined up on the back there to put your 4 screws back in. You don't want to over tighten these two fees, do you? Because they're only into that plastic. Now, just out of interest, the brake light is the same on the Sport and the L322. The only difference is the connector. But on our website we've put the 2 listings, one for the L322 and one for the Sport. Obviously we've got the right connector on the Sport one. We haven't managed to find the L322 connector yet. Right, so get it positioned, get your handy helper to hold it for you. I'll hold it. Click the brake light back in. Click the washer jet back in.
And you need to just make sure that
those studs go into the... Let me have a look. Just getting those studs in the hole. Now's probably a good time to test it. We'll tighten that up later, but before we go any further, and you guys can work out how to screw those screws back in. But let's finish the video by doing a little demo, and hopefully it shines. If I come back a bit, you can see the other lights on the car. Yep, that's it. We got it there. So do that again, Ian. That's it. So you can see. So there you go, that's how to change your brake light and also upgrade it to the tinted type. If you want to go right off, Ian, let me just show you the... Yeah, so I think that looks better on a black car. So there we go, good luck with that one.